Number 3 is to visit the prisons, and so on and so forth. So that's typically what we look at my birthday. It's just a day of thanksgiving to God for what God has done thus far, and looking forward to the future. So at the colloquium, we looked at the mistakes that Nigeria made. And we had as our guest speaker a gentleman who has been here quite a few times, a friend, a brother, a senior in school, the best school in the universe, King's College, Lagos, Mr. Atedo Peterside. And he gave a very, very key and classic interpretation of the mistakes that Nigeria made, and came up with this issue of state capture and so on and so forth. Our chairman, of course, was General Ike Nwachukwu, who we're hoping that very soon we'll have him on this platform to speak on perhaps the mistakes Nigeria made. He gave 38 options of what may have been a mistake that Nigeria made. Very, very deep, very, very resounding. And maybe we'll get him here one day to further expound on his thinking. But our discussants were Professor Olubukola Munisola Oyawoye, who was previously a member of the Osun State government. She was a commissioner in Osun State, and subsequently is now a professor, and also the head of the head of
Advancement Center.
The head of
Advancement Center, sir.
The name Advancement Center at the University. Yeah. Thank you so much. She obtained a BSc honors in microbiology from Ogun State University in 1987, an MSc from Ahmadu Bello University, and a PhD in microbiology from the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University, Bauchi, in 2000. Holds PhDs in education and food management from Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University and the Hebrew University of Agriculture, Rehovot, Israel, 2005 and 2007, respectively. She includes, academic honors includes the British Council Travel Fellowships, University of Wales, College of Cardiff, UK in 1997 for her PhD research work, an award of Third World Academy of Science in 1999 for the preparation and completion of her PhD thesis in microbiology. So you can see that she knows everything about the microbes and the biology thereof in the universe. She has all the knowledge. She's a professor of the 21st century by the International Chartered World of Learned Society, a US-based international organization. She has written over 50 articles published in peer-reviewed journals and proceedings, and has research in various areas: antimicrobial resistance, prevalence and evaluation of antimicrobial resistance, and so on and so forth, and on and on and on and on. As I said, she's currently the Director of Advancement of the Federal University, Oye-Ekiti, and happily married to a professor also, Professor Enoch Olayiwola Oyawe, and their marriage is blessed with wonderful children. Let me leave it at that. My first job today is to thank Professor Oyawe for coming to do such a wonderful job at our colloquium on Tuesday. It was really a delight to have her and note her contributions. Contributions got Jumoke very, very excited, and she thinks that she shares your views. So, Prof, I know you're on the road, and thank you for joining us in spite of your schedule. I hope it's not that you're on the road from Lagos back to Oye-Ekiti, but if you are, that's okay. I wish you journey mercies and so on and so forth. but I'm sure you can hear me, and I'm sure you'll be able to contribute.
I can hear you loud and I can hear you very loud and clear, sir.
Okay, to this discourse. Now, on Tuesday, we looked at the mistakes that Nigeria made.
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
Okay. On Tuesday, we looked at the mistakes that Nigeria made, and so on and so forth. I don't know if you want to quickly recap for us what your thoughts were on the mistakes Nigeria made and the eloquent presentations you made on that day, if it is possible.
Well, thank you, sir, Your Honor. I use that language, Your Honor, because you're a very honorable personality. I said it that day that the first time I was to interact with you, if it were to be an average Nigerian big man, I wouldn't get your attention. From a nobody's call, you picked, and that's an example of what a Nigerian should be, especially our leaders who actually should have listening here. That was when I talked with you and made you wonderful up one of the things of structure that we had made and that we can address. So I spoke about our mistakes, that the land that is blessed with honey flowing with milk that God has given unto us has actually not made any mistake. God does not make mistakes. The amalgamation that our father spoke about must have also be ordained by God. Otherwise, it won't cross the heart of men. So coming together, amalgamating together is not a mistake. But who are the people that have made mistakes? The people that have made mistakes are the inhabitants of a beautiful land, who, when God had put us together, we had refused to put ourselves together as a community or as a country. We had actually left ourselves in the dark, still living nation by nation within a country that is supposed to be one. So I mentioned that one of our mistakes is that we didn't get our identity right. We did not know that we had become one. I cited an example of my living in for 21 years. In those days when I get my hair plaits and I dress with my wrapper, with my hair covered, on the average, the Shu Arabs usually think I'm one of them when they speak language to me. Sometimes they speak Fulfulde to me. And in the process, I learned to speak Hausa because I just had to. I had to go to nooks and crannies of more than 10 states of the northeast and north central Nigeria to administer vaccination. So we are one people. And I have seen myself in the Igbo land. A lot of people approach me and they speak to me, speaking Igbo, to let me think that I'm one of them. I know, I feel like one of them. And when I was in the north, I feel like a northerner. And born and bred to a Yoruba man in Southwest, I don't feel less than a Yoruba person. But more importantly, I feel like a Nigerian. And I want all of us to feel like a Nigerian that we are. Because in the actual sense, if we are you are me, we are us. We are the same people, separated by geographical location. And let me also ask us a question, sir. Pastor Ighodalo has returned 63. Even you and probably my father, General Nwachukwu, as he is over 83 years old, I would like everybody to tender their letter that they wrote to the Almighty God at one point in time that, oh no, I would have loved to be an Ighodalo, to be born to an Edo man and a Yoruba mother from Ondo State. I'd like to see such a letter. You never applied to be who you are. Neither did I apply to be who I am. And so we find ourselves where we find ourselves. Perhaps if we are all asked to write, maybe I would have written that I want no other person than my father, but let him be the brother of Barack Obama. in America. But right away, this is what God has given me. I've been gifted to Nigeria. Nigeria has been gifted to me. And the mistake we are making is not accepting who we are and that we are one people that are supposed to be together. The other mistake that we have made is the heart of revenge. Okay, now, there was a 1960 coup d'etat that took some people to kill some people. I was born only in 1967, my Lord and my pastor. So why now? Because one Aguiyi-Ironsi offended one Adekunle sometimes, and in their ambition to rule or to be part of a great Nigeria, the things didn't go well. And then I know Juku had a problem with Gowon. And then suddenly, Obukola Oyawoye, who is not related to even Adekunle, is being questioned. Who was not born when the coup d'etat actually happened? I am being questioned and being treated as a bad person because I'm Yoruba, or Enahoro because of his role that he played. Sometimes, as an Edo man, Ishan man, he's been misinterpreted because he supported Southwest Nigeria. It's things that didn't concern. And when the Bible says we should forgive ourselves 774 times before we get an offense of 60 years, 40 years of coup d'etat that nobody knows about. One Moriton, then an Igbo man should pay for that offense. I do not understand this. I think Nigerians we are actually almost an abomination before to know that this person. Ighodalo has not done me any wrong. I've not done him any wrong. Nwachukwu have not done me any wrong, and we have not done him any wrong. And therefore, we should not pay for the sins that we know nothing about. We should please forgive ourselves. And that this mistake that makes us to judge ourselves unworthily. Also, we are all so dishonest, most of us, where you cannot deal with somebody who your file, and then he hides on Yaradua or Buhari, who is the governor. Whereas many of us are dishonest. You can hardly get anything done in the ministry without anybody wanting you to pay something. And he's been paid for his job. It's tight. I have seen false measurements can in the market by market women. They are not in government. I have seen people stole money in offices. They are not the president, they're not the governor. And I summarized, my Lord, that we have all made one form of mistake or the other. As even the Bible has put it, we have all sinned, have come short of the glory of God. But we have this opportunity to all repent, to all come together. I like to come together as my pastor, Ighodalo, chart a path for this country, for us to be united, for this country, for us to forget the mistakes of the past, for us to go and all the mismanagement, the corruption that we have done, to actually repent of it, return stolen money, and let us have a country that we can be proud of. And then on the long run, let us do some microeconomy. Let us just empower the youths. Let us just smell them that is already existing. Small scale and medium and scale, small and medium scale enterprise establishment, to give youths money, to establish people, concentrate our efforts on all these energetic youths who should in their normal age now. The establishing banks like Peterside should be CEOs of big companies. And therefore, I am actually emotional about it, that we forgive ourselves, look for what to do, give people the backings that we need. Let religious organization help us. I was in Israel. I schooled in Israel, and I saw where everybody goes to pay pilgrimage. You will see a big mosque there. You will see this on the right side. You will see the well of Sheba, Queen Sheba. You will see there the crucifix. You will see there where Jesus was bathed. You go there, you pray. You see the Wailing Wall, and then you see the northeast gate, and you see the Al-Qasan Mosque, which is the third most important mosque in the entire world. But God put everything together in that spot. Somebody who have not offended me, or because he goes to somebody else must take a dagger to kill. My appeal to all of us: know that God loves realities anyway. Whatever to God, not up to me. I can only advocate, preach, and probably see how many people I can convert to my side. I am not God. We should not play God. And then I'm also saying we have made a mistake of taking the religion to the extreme, where we can hardly understand who we are anymore. One people reach so many people. We've made the mistake of not loving the people we're supposed to love. We have made a mistake of making sure that all the money is meant for education has been wasted by some people who want to send their children to Harvard. When the children come back from Harvard, they come and meet the same people you have cheated, that you have not, that you're not giving them their dues to go to school. And then they become a threat to all of us. I just want to say that one way or the other, leadership, followership, church goers, mosque goers, market women, children, and all of us have made mistake. We have stereotyped people. Oh, he's an Igbo man, he must be greedy. Oh, he's a Yoruba man, he must be useless. Oh, he's an Gwari woman. And then we complain. Oh, Fulani is bad. Oh, Ibobios are not good. And then who is good? And Christ even said nobody is good. We should just accept ourselves as we are. And then after we had said all of that, everything said and done, we cannot solve our problems. But if we come together and think, we really can empower our people. We really can make sure that, churches who have excess money should, besides establishing university, give industries, water producing industry, train for entrepreneurship, do everything possible to get those church members who are not strong financially to do something, not just dash them food or maybe clothing, but train them as organizer, train them as shoemakers, train them as those who can make puff, chin. Let them produce, and then they can give tithes back when they're doing well. Let us have industries that we can employ people within. And while I'm not saying universities are not good, a beautiful idea, we should look at how to empower people. The big mosque that have big monies, and then the CEOs. We have the Adenugas, the Jadelekes, we have so many of them, the Dangotes. They should help us train more people besides the people they can employ. Let them help us put up entrepreneurship in terms of IT and so many other things. MTN buses, let them train people for us. Let us remove miscreant from the streets. Let's feed the poor. Let us have a Nigeria where everybody will be very happy. Let us have a Nigeria that Ighodalo will be very proud of. I know your heartbeat, sir. You want a unified Nigeria, a beautiful Nigeria. And let citizens also know that we have a responsibility. American streets are clean because the Americans don't throw papers on the floor. They don't throw cans when they are done drinking on the main road. And America says, God bless America. This afternoon, I want to say with my pastor, who is turning 63, that God bless Nigeria. And I want Nigerians to begin to repeat the word, God bless Nigeria. And God will listen to us and bless Nigeria intellectually. And I want us to sponsor research. I'll be keeping quiet in a few minutes for my pastor to ruminate. But I want to tell you, education sector, it is. My university, Federal University of Ekiti, have 63,000 students.
63,000.
Yes, my father and my pastor. 63,000 students studying all sorts. And recently, my lab, my own small lab, we made a discovery where we got some microorganism, and we within the campus, we did sequencing or genome sequencing, and we were told in the US, where we send them to, that such organisms have never been reported in the world. The gene are Nobel, and then they are naming some of those things after me and some of the people we did research together. We did the same thing in Adeleke, and we got microorganisms that have not been utilized for a purpose that we used it for before. Which purpose did we use it for? We're using them as fertilizer, my father. We don't need to buy fertilizer. We know what to do with these microorganisms because God has put them in the soil to reside there, so that they can produce auxin, they can produce the chemical that is needed for plant to grow very well. All we needed to do is to concentrate them and then find a carrier and all that for them. And then we don't need fertilizer. We will get rid of chemicals that are causing, which is in fertilizer and other form that are causing climate change and erosion of the ozone layer. And therefore, what can we not do in Nigeria? I told you that day that one little boy went for a competition in America. He's new in America, he's from Nigeria. And he won where Mexico, America, and Canada competed. And that child is my son. I prayed and I was perplexed that could happen. But you see, the Bible says He will set us above all nations. And therefore, what can we not do? What can our youth not do? We have the resources, the human, the intellect, and everything. I just want us to back up research. I want us to back up education. I want us to do what is right. I want us to also curb evil behavior by punishing evildoers and making them to be a deterrent to others. And then name and shame, and then praise those who have done well. This afternoon, the numerous mistakes that Nigeria or Nigerians have made are very, very numerous, but we can solve them. We can empower our people. We can take people off the street. One day, some people stopped us on the way. 2 of my cars were snatched in a robbery incident. And while those people, 7 boys, useful, when their guns, I summoned up courage and I spoke to them and I said, look, I know you are hurt. I know you're stealing because you don't know what to do. But please don't kill. Don't kill people, for whosoever kills will be killed. You can still salvage your life. I started speaking with them, and you won't believe it. One of them started weeping, and they dropped us. They said, it is not us. We are sent to go and take these things. We cannot but allow you go. They dropped me off. They gave me my purse. They even said, Mama, take some money for transportation. They dropped me in far Oyo North. The incident happened in Osho. But I want to let you know, my father, that I survived, but I knew I touched their lives because I empathize with them. I said, you are youthful, you are young, you are good. What brought you into robbery? What brought you into robbery? What brought you into this problem? And with that empathy, I saw tears in the eyes of one of them. I wish I could take him home. In my home, when you hear no in my house, in my own personal house, I have my children biologically. But the Bible says, I and the Lord, the children that the Lord has given unto me are for signs and wonders. But in my home, I have a Fulani. In my home, I have an Ibera girl who has graduated and bears my name. In my house, I have everybody. My home is God's home because it's a privilege to be alive and to keep all these children. They are mine. They know it. Their life has changed because of me. And I know that I am just an instrument in the hand of God. I want to continue to be. I'm begging all Nigerians, let us see ourselves as one. All my children enter my room. They stay with me. They are from diverse backgrounds, from diverse parents. I have Ibira, I have Igbos, I have Yorubas, I have everybody. And God has blessed me. God has blessed me with wonderful children. When I do my hand like this, anybody from any part of the country will stand and say she's our own. Because I truly belong to everybody. Truly, truly, my pastor. And I want to say thank you for the opportunity you have given to me to actually emotionally, with tears in my eyes today, appeal to Nigerians. We can be great. We are great people already. God is waiting for us to unite. Some people are bent on saying this Nigeria will not work. We want to beg and apologize on behalf of everyone that have offended them, that we are sorry. Let Nigeria work. Let's work together to get a great country. God bless each and every one of you listening. God bless my pastor Itua, and God bless Nigeria. I want everybody to chorus with me. God bless Nigeria. Our economy will go great. We will get it right. It shall be well with us. Security problem will be solved. We will do community policing and state policing. Things will work. It's done in America. It's done in the UK. The campus where I'm visiting in Texas, they even have their police. Let alone Houston have their police. Let alone Texas have their police. And there's a national police. Why can't we have, who knows Osun State better than a son of Osun? Who knows nooks and crannies of where things can be hidden, where criminals can be hiding? How can a casino man know a village in Ife South where there could be a problem? Let us have community police. Let us have state police. Let us solve our problem. And let us bring people who are, you see, under the tree and who looks as if they can be useful. Let us try and rehabilitate them. Who knows? One person can come back to say thank you, like Jesus said. Thank you so very much, because I know today the heavens will stand this. Nigerians will survive. Nigeria will recuperate. It shall be well with us. Body, soul, and spirit. We will be great again. Let's make Nigeria great again. Thank you, sir.
Amen.
God
Thank
bless
you
Nigeria.
so much. Thank you so much. I can feel your love for Nigeria. We are really going to work together, I pray, by God's grace. I can feel your passion. I can even feel the emotions for this great country. And I thank you for leading by example with the people that you already are looking after. But now what I want to ask you is in two parts. Number one, why do you think you've itemized some things? Tribalism, a bit of nepotism. We're blaming ourselves for mistakes we knew nothing about. We're stereotyping ourselves and so on and so forth. We're blaming other people for things that individuals did, not necessarily even in the name of the tribe or the people. And we've stereotyped people and all that. And then somehow we've not paid enough attention to education. We have misallocated our resources. And some of us, including churches, are not doing what we should do to empower our people. And we're not speaking well about Nigeria. My first question is this: why do you think all this has happened? What is the root cause of these things that made us make these mistakes as Nigerians? Refusing to put ourselves together and not accepting that the Almighty, in spite of the way Nigeria came about, had a special purpose in this nation. And I like the one you said about nobody applying to God or telling God that this is what I wanted. I use that to preach a lot, that nobody told God, make me and put me in Nigeria. You woke up one day as a baby and you found yourself in the environment where you found yourself. So God has a plan. So why did we as a people then somehow behaved in this way? Tribalism, nepotism, corruption, bad attitudes to one another, not loving one another, not forgiving one another. What is the root cause of that? And then most importantly, a step-by-step, point-by-point, sequence-by-sequence analysis or suggestions of practical things that we can do here together as individuals or as groups of people to change the narrative and correct those mistakes and make Nigeria great again. If possible, allocate responsibilities to specific people or specific groups of people and so on and so forth. That is what I'd like you to please help me to speak to today so that we can look more at a way out and a way forward rather than even looking again at the mistakes.
Thank you so very much, my pastor. I think things went wrong because of inequality. Inequality in approach to things. How do you allocate things? And you, even in your home, if you have 10 children and you go to the kitchen and you begin to dish out meals, and then some big meats and on top of some people's food, some almost nothing, some leftover food, you are not going to get the loyalty of those children. Nigeria has made the mistake of not equalizing all their children. In my kitchen, when I serve all the food, I don't name who owns what. I will just, how many boys? 20 boys, 5 boys, okay, 5 girls, carry your food. So they can't ever accuse me of saying, and because that one, she's the real mother, and then, so there's no real mother anywhere because God has given me all these children. Everybody is equal before God. We have forgotten that we are all equally created by God. A lot of times we want to think some people are born with silver spoon in their mouth. We want to think that some tribes are more, all animals are equal, but some are more equal than the other. Some feel this inferiority complex, which they think is superiority complex in any way. Because they can't compete, they think the best way is to cut corners and use, all sort of names, quota, all sort of things to get to their advantage. If you have a country inequality, I'm saying, where somebody is made a first class and is an honorable boy, it's so good. And then because I have a nephew who's barely made a third class of 2-2, for the same job which the honorable boy is more qualified to do. And I push because I am a commissioner. I now push my nephew, who is less qualified, to take that role. The honorable boy would be helpless, but he would never be a committed Nigerian because he would think of a Nigeria who does not actually reward excellence. In my last class, there's a young man that I'm promoting. He is an able boy. He was the best graduating student, my best research student. And even when he had financial issue, I had to come to his aid. That boy will not go and say Yoruba woman is bad. I treat all of them equally, irrespective of where they are from. Support whoever needs to be supported. And that's why we could get the best of the result that we got, that is putting our name on global stage. Global stage. So it is inequality before the eyes of Nigeria, before the eyes of government should go. Should go. If we want a Nigeria of our dream, if you ill-treat a child, he will never forget. Even in our homes, some women take the kind of children they call omodo, house girls. And they will say, oh, he has come to do this, he has come to do that. But you leave what your children had yesterday and leave it for her today to eat. She will never be a committed soul to Nigeria. So when inequality plays a great role in anything, when people cannot aspire to be what they ought to be, then we are going to cause an upset in the system, a disbelief, a lack of trust in the system. I want to see how all of us, as leaders, starting from our home to our place of work, try to give excellence to those that deserve it. We would always get work for, you see, in this political thing, people that we have used and we feel we should reward, who do not know how to handle the job. When you give jobs to those who cannot handle it, how will you make progress? I've been off my laboratory now. I left able children in the lab. I can't remember their tribe, neither can I remember their towns, but they are just my children, 49 of them. I have given them assignments. You are in charge of equipment. You are in charge of media. You are in charge of cleanup. You are in charge of making sure that this work. Oh, you are a man. You're in charge of the electricity. You switch off to solar when we don't have electricity, and you go with generator when we need to use heavy equipment. All of those things, I have them. They are from everywhere. And they're doing well. If you make children, and I want us to start with our youth, if you make them, they are friendly, they are good, they are strong, they can do everything together. Do you know in that laboratory, they don't remember, we don't even remember surnames. We just go Kelvin, we go Buki, we go Bola, we go Titi, and then everybody is equal before the law. They are all entitled to this professor they call their mom equally. So, sir, I want us first and foremost to look at the case of inequality. Inequality is killing this nation. Nepotism is killing this nation. Using those who are not qualified to be in charge of things. You have people that can do their job better. I love Deji Adeleke for that. I love Dangote for that. There are a lot of Nigerians in their companies who do not belong to their tribes. But they just know you can do the job, you are allowed to do it. Let us give jobs to those who can handle it. Let it start from private companies, private universities. This issue of you cannot be promoted. You are from Oyo State. Your quota is filled up in the military, and then that military officer watch his younger officer overtake him, and then is promoted and rapidly promoted, and then even though he's supposed to be senior, and then you just then they say, okay, you are retired because you can't go further. And then we retired a brilliant soldier or officer. The same thing in police, and this and that. If we continue with this nepotism, and we continue with this inequality, and we begin to just think that we want to build a nation where it's a lie. Our anthem said, "We're a nation where no man is oppressed." A nation where no man is oppressed. You oppress people when you bring people who are less qualified and put it over them. I have been in every nooks and cranny of the country. People have a wrong notion that some people are not brilliant. It's not true. We are very superb and brilliant northerners. I taught in Tafawa Balewa University for 21 years. I tell you facts and figure that an average Hausa man of Fulani boy is very intelligent and brilliant. It is just level of commitment. If you don't challenge people, if I know I'm going to get something from you, Pastor Itua, without struggling like my other mates, why should I work hard? If I know it's going to be easier for me to get it, it will be more difficult for the person coming from Kogi to get it from you. Why shouldn't I work hard for it? Nigeria has put a system in place that is not promoting excellence. It's promoting nepotism. It's promoting laziness for some people. You face the same educational institution. You go and write the same JAMB, and then we begin to give quotas. We begin to give marks. Somebody has scored 250, he can't get in. A 230 is getting in. Oh, because it's from Osun State. That state is educationally advantageous or disadvantage. And Edo boy has scored 270, and the Osun man has scored 260. And then we said, okay, let the Kogi man take it with 240. Why will the other people that has been denied, why will they have the commitment of a country in their mind? If there's any need for us to create levels of opportunity for people, yes, but excellence, let us not play with it. That is number one. Inequality has killed the nation, has disenfranchised our youth, has made them not to believe in a system. They say, even if you go for the interview, you're not going to get it. Look at it. Somebody just sent to me now. Eventually, an Hindu man has become the prime minister in the UK. My son had just gone to America not too long ago to do school. He's been allowed to compete to represent USA in a competition between Mexico and Canada and America. And by the grace of God, he won. Americans are shouting, oh, in North Carolina, the boy has done well. He's our own. And I kept reminding them, he's a Nigerian. Because my God is the God that brings even the poor from the dunghill to become kings among princes. Nigerians are good. If they will not discriminate against us in another country, why should we discriminate ourselves against ourselves in Nigeria? We shout, some people are white supremacy. We are doing the same here. So like you said, sir, the things we got wrong and how to address it is we must bring these youth to believe in themselves and give them equal opportunity. We should downplay, probably not remove quota system, downplay it. Let's give 70% to excellence and probably 30% or less to those okay, so that this state can be represented. Bring your best. We will add you to them, but not deprive. I know a state that could not supply their manpower in customs at a time, and others were waiting to enter the same space. They were not given. Are you going to build a country like that? What impression does that boy who knows he's qualified and his friend has been denied and his friend has been taken in the name of quota? So I want to beg government to give a fair play room for our youth. It may be too late for adults to express excellence, to be in charge of what they know how to be in charge. After all, if anybody excels and is an Ibera man, he's still a Nigerian. After all, if that person excels and is a Sokoto man, he's still a Nigerian. I want us to eradicate when we fill forms. When we fill forms, to put the portion of religion and tribe. Put your name and a Nigerian. All this state of origin thing is good though, when you want to compete in your state. But when it is national, let us let it be that we are competing on a level playing ground. Let it be that we are competing on a level playing ground. Let the spirit of excellence come into Nigeria. Let's pick the best to do the right jobs. Appealing to government, pick the best brain to work very hard to take Nigeria out of the woods. Look for who can do it. He could be an imam, he could be a pastor. We are all happy now. Cardoso is doing well. He has paid some debts. He has done this, he has done that. I was very proud of Ben Uwabueze, in charge of budget. He's a no-nonsense man. He was doing a great job. Let's look for the best everywhere. I love Sanusi, because he's a fearless Nigerian. He says it the way it is. I will applaud Nuru Nubadu. I'm going to give it to the Adeleke. I'm going to give it to the Glow man for his establishment. Sir, one day said we should give responsibility to WIP. I want to call on CEOs of companies as a function of corporate responsibility. Give us opportunity and help us take care of people in medical, in scholarship. One very day, after some 2 or 3 weeks of some people disturbing me that they need medical attention, somebody had a kidney problem. He is going to die if we don't do anything about it. I couldn't sleep. I prayed for him. I got just maybe 50,000 or so I sent, but it wasn't sufficient. They're looking for 18 million. They had raised about 6 million. One very deep night, I couldn't sleep. Awake, then I saw one of our CEOs, no one wants me to mention his name, online. And I just called, 1 a.m. And I had, Buki, you're not sleeping? I said, sir, I'm not sleeping. I said, why? I said, somebody is going to die. I said, where? How? I said, he needs to have a kidney exchange. And he sent me, I said, go to so-and-so place, go to so-and-so place, and go and tell them I said it should be taken up. The kidney surgery was done. The boy is living, he has a PhD. I don't think I will recognize the boy on the streets, but last week, at least last month, I still sent him some money when he said his drugs are needed. And when they sell him money prayer, I put him in prayers. Once I have seen him before, he was looking for a job. Brilliant, a PhD holder. And this man of God, the CEO of a company, gave me 10 million to give the boy. The boy survived. He has saved a soul. How many of our CEOs can afford to say, we are donating? Because you said I should tag. We are donating in a pool 100 million or half a billion or a billion for critical cases in specialist hospital who needs only kidney exchange, who needs only surgery on hole in the heart. They can come together, they are friends. Adenuga is a friend of Adeleke. Adeleke is a friend of Dangote. Dangote is a friend of Dantata. They all know themselves. All honor and honestly, today I want to refer Wigwe, even in his death. They are all friends. They were friends. God rest him. Let them come together and have a pool of fund, to call it survivor fund, for extreme cases, which they must sign on. Extreme cases of surgery. I want them to come together. Could it be churches? I know individual churches do it. But can we have a united church center where we put together funds coming from churches and probably from mosque, saying that it is to be used for MSc program, for PhD programs, for the best graduating students of every university? They can afford it. Churches can afford it. Big mosques can afford it. Regional organizations can afford it. And then we begin to raise these Nigerians who we will just say the boy is from Enugu, and then it's been trained, I say, to Selma in Kaduna. Oh, the boy is from Oshun. He's been trained, by Igodalo because he is the best. I know our fathers in the Lord are doing that. Redeem is training. Our fathers are doing it. Baba Deboye, they're doing it. Baba Oyedepo, they're doing it. But let us concert our efforts. Let there be a pool for the best brains in Nigeria. that we will all say we want to train them. We need to train them. We want them to represent us up to United Nations. Let's mix a pool of maybe 300 or 360 Nigerians. And they're all very brilliant. And then these CEOs or churches says, we are taking this up. Let there be Muslims among them. Let's call on big mosques in the north and in the southwest and say, what are they going to do for us from the Sakat? Who are they training for us? The best brains should not waste. It shouldn't matter who they are. It shouldn't matter who their parents are. Scholarships for the best. Let it go and be competed for, and let it be sponsored by church all over the country. Let it be sponsored by mosque all over the country. Let's look at SMEs. Let's look at youth under 40 and below. That the federal government says that all mornings, every graduate and everybody who has learned one trade or the other, who has one business or the other, who have registered it, that small-scale industry, entrepreneur industries, they call it SMELDM. I don't know the full meaning. Let them give them fund to do their businesses, genuine ones. Let there be an inspection team to go and see SMEs. What are you doing? How are you doing it? I saw in social media a young man that made lantern. He made a lantern that is powered by salt and water, and it will stay 70 days. He said he found nobody in Nigeria. He had to go and make a partnership with somewhere in China. Let us look for our youth to come and compete. Let them come and compete with what they can put on the table, what they can do. And then let all our CEOs, government can't do it all by themselves. Pick, adopt a project and support it. Who says Nigeria will not be good? If you take an average of 10 per state of the best brains and you mix them together, take them to Jaji. Let them interact. Leave them there. Leave them there for 6 months in Jaji. Let them interact. Sponsor them. Give them money. And then after 6 months, let government demand and innovations that will come from there. Computer scientists, microbiologists, engineers, let them come and then put them 10 per state. Let's take them. Get the best brain all over the world. Bring our boys from diaspora who are good. This is the time of artificial intelligence. Go and put this, but instead of doing the brand of housemates that will be sleeping together and be drinking and whatever. Why I'm not condemning any of this, whatever, social, whatever. But let's put intellectuals. Let's put all our kids together. Go and see if they will not forget that that they belong to any group of people. You will see an emergence of great Nigerians who will come out smiling. Look at it when we are playing football and we are winning. Nobody remember that is Musa now, and that is Christian. Nobody worries about if that person is Igbo or is Yoruba. Or we are shouting and dancing for them. In fact, some of us will even go on our knees and be praying, God, let them do well. God, let Nigeria win. Yes, God, let Nigeria win in other things. In football, yes. In entrepreneurship, yes. In innovation, yes. There is world depression and world economic woes, but we can thrive. We will thrive. We will flourish, not even thrive. We will flourish in hard times. Our father, Baba Oyedepo said, we should go and flourish in hard times. When people are saying there's a casting down, we can be saying there's a lifting up. We can do irrigation. Isaac did that in dry lands. and he harvested. And then let's come to our farmers. If we can tackle, people are ready to farm, they're only afraid of being kidnapped in the bush. That's why I kept saying, each governor should be given the mandate to come and do community state police and comb our forest and let people be able to plant. Let farmers go back to farm. Food was so expensive these days that I changed my flower pots to vegetable pots. Living by example. We're planting vegetables all around the flower pots. And it's thriving. At least that one we can wait. We are planting yams in cement bags, and it's doing well. Let everybody go and do some gardening. I'm doing a research now where we're using water and mineral to grow some plants, putting in some microorganism in there to synthesize some, not turning their head, just the way they are naturally from the soil. So we have a pool of water. We just put these tomatoes there, let them take nutrients and fruits. And who is going to be in charge of this? Ministry of Agriculture, state government. I think there should even be a competition between states. Which state is doing best? Who is doing what? Let's strongly believe governors can do it for us. They are good people. They are good people. But you see, the problem is because when they are competing, me and you will go and collect 10,000 from them. They will borrow money and then they will go. We are saying electoral reform. When we all collect 5,000, 10,000, then the cost of their coming to power will be 4 billion. Then you now get there, they get there, you begin to abuse them. They are taking our money. Why would they not recoup what they spend for you? The same meant for your road, you have eaten it up. Citizenry, why are we taking money before we vote? Why are we selling like Esau did? Why are we selling our birthright? Why are we eating up our seeds? In America, people vote because they believe in the party. They give money, $2, $10, $5, contribute to the party they like. They don't go back there to say that they must be paid back. They rake it, they get it in social amenities.
Well, I think that one of the reasons why this has been so is because largely a lot of the electorates are ignorant and they don't know right from wrong. They are under the influence of some political leader or the other that has been looking after them, influencing them, being their source of income. And then they feel obligated and obliged so that they then do whatever he says and everything has been monetized. What do you think we can do about that? It has been monetized from the top down, especially in a lot of our political parties and our political systems.
Maybe we should start by orientation, public orientation. The internet, the social media is very powerful now. We can talk to ourselves. We can also beg God-fearing private institutions to begin to teach some of these things. We should not be in a hurry. We'll get over it. These things has been institutionalized. It's in our blood, but we can get it off. We can. In the days when we were small, me and you, sir, me that I'm your younger sister, it's only on Sundays that we eat rice, right? We're eating rice only on Sundays.
Correct.
Today, rice have become, and it's now in every nooks and cranny. People are crying because of rice. And we have our edikaikong, which is more nutritious. We have it with our hapu, we have it with our other vegetables. Our people don't have time. We are not creating time to educate our children. Why can't we start educating our children that we can't sell our future by this kind of political arrangements? Why can't we talk about it from primary and nursery school? I was watching a program where I saw that for the first 4 years or 5 years of schooling in Japan, they don't write exams. All they teach them is manner. We tell them the consequences of rigged elections. We let them, we should learn history. We should let them know why we are in trouble that we are in now. if we can go to orientation camps. Some of us can volunteer. I can go and do, I can go to any length in this country, anywhere. The little languages I can speak from the north to the west. I can, and a little of the Igbos. We can talk. Sir, we can have, we will not, like Jesus talked about the miracles of the seed sower. Some will fall on bad ground, some will fall on the rock, but some on good land. It will thrive. We can be patient, like planting your maize. If you go there every day to see it, you disturb it. But if we keep planting the seed of the words, we keep planting and begin to talk to the younger ones, things will change. You nearly saw what happened at the last election, that things are really, the youths can really understand themselves. Sir, I am not afraid. I believe very strongly that with our youth and the younger ones, we can conquer this mountain called corruption in the electioneering system. We really can. Yes, we can. Yes, we can, from church to church. Let them give us 5 minutes, sir. If we go, today redeem, tomorrow triumph, the next tomorrow Trinity, and on and on. Let us ask for 10 minutes to talk to the youths of every church, not about politics, but about ridding the country of political gimmickry. I'm not canvassing for any government or against any government, but the future that we all want to see. We can recruit our youths. I know many of them who believe in this cause that you are trying to chant, sir. We will sing for them, we will dance for them, we will tell them, we will talk to them, we will beg them. And gradually we will emerge. We will emerge with groups of people who believe in our dreams. We will emerge. Great Nigerians will emerge. And God will give us the grace to see when we all shall rule this country in righteousness. Yes, Americans have their problem, UK have their problem, everybody have their problem, but I am telling you that we can do it. Yes, we can. We will go to private universities. We will talk to the people there. We will go visit all our CEOs and let them give us support. We will let them know what they want to do, how they want to do it, and so on and so forth. My Father in the Lord, yes, you can. I will support you.
No, that's too quick. It's you were going to make the spearhead and the director of this thing, and then we will support you. You know, that's the only question I was going to ask. You know, very, very brilliant ideas. And I think this conversation is being recorded. So maybe we'll summarize this and let you see it. Or if you have any paper, I know you're an academic, if you can put a precise paper with these ideas and the suggestions, and also the suggestion of a structure that will drive it, it will be useful to us, because they are brilliant ideas. A few people, including ourselves, have thought about them before. But if they can be well articulated for us, and then we can sit together and see how we can drive a structure that will make this happen. I see you talking about a private initiative taking control of certain things and doing certain things, and not necessarily waiting for government, and also how to engage government and get them to do the best. I think that is what I get from what you're saying. So I don't know.
So I promise you, I'll put some of these things together.
Okay.
I'll put them together and get it as soon as possible to you. And we'll all sit around the table. I saw Fatima said she's interested and volunteering to be part of this. And I am sure we are going to make a call for volunteers, and we will get them. Yes, I will. By the grace of God, God helping me, I'll put out some of these things together and send them to you as soon as possible. I will.
Okay, that would be fantastic. And also on the call is Pastor Sonny Nebi, one of my pastors. So I'm going to be getting him to create a group or get all the volunteers like Fatima and
Adejoke
everybody
is
on this platform who
volunteering.
like to. Adejoke, okay, Fatima, Adejoke. They should please reach out to us. Blessing is also volunteering.
They should all send their details, phone number, and email addresses.
Who should they send it to, Olu?
They can send it to the platform right away now.
Yes, right away.
They should send it to the platform right away. All those who are volunteering, your email, your phone number, right away. Your name and listen. But please, if you are volunteering, let it be a serious thing, because we don't want people who are moved by emotion right now. And then when it's time to do the work, they'll be telling us they don't have time to do the work or they're too busy, blah, 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 and all that. Please, I beg. So, man, we'll be expecting, Prof, this paper from you. It's time to start looking at people who want to take questions. Okay, I'm very grateful. And I'm going to be asking Pastor Sonny to moderate the question and answer session and so on and so forth. So I don't know if you have any other thoughts as to how to correct what went wrong with Nigeria, while the people who are willing to ask questions begin to ask, put up their hands electronically. And Pastor Sonny, I don't know if you have any questions you want to ask her also while we then begin to take over. So Sonny, over to you.
Thank you very much, Pastor Itua. Prof, thank you very much for your passionate presentation. The way we do it is we engage with the participants on the platform who ask questions or make contributions to the topic. So we'll take a set of them. We're going to have quite a bit of questions, so the answers will be straight, precise. We have 2 people at the moment. So I will take those 2 people, Stephen Ipalibo Lawson and Yemisi Kuti. Questions or comments, you can take note of them. I'll take the 2 of them, and then after that, you can give your response. So, Stephen, go ahead.
All right, thank you, Pastor Sonny, yes. And greetings to Pastor Itua. And Prof, thank you so very much for such a passionate presentation. Interestingly enough, there is an organization called Junior Achievement Nigeria. I had actually volunteered some time in going around teaching younger children about certain things on ethics, ethics, leadership, and the rest of that. I'm very sure some people on this platform are aware of that, Junior Achievement. Also, what you have obviously mentioned in terms of the young intelligentsia, and I think perhaps that is what the federal government colleges were supposed to help address in terms of bringing people from different aspects of the country intellectually to be able to come up with all kinds of ideas, as well as they are building towards secondary school. And I think that concept you've mentioned is one, I believe, is one that we should actually find a way to implement. That itself is impressive. However, there is a lot of poverty in the land. People are driven by survivor first. Whether we like it or not, the basic hunger thing has not been resolved. How do we resolve that in order for us to be committed to patriotic projects of this nature? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Stephen.
Thank you. Brilliant.
Great question. Yemisi Kuti, Auntie, unmute yourself and go ahead.
Thank you for unmuting me.
Okay.
Thank you for another inspiring session. Pastor Itua, you've done it again. You brought this very, very enlightened personality to come and address this subject. And I was so encouraged when she mentioned the responsibility of the citizenry in fashioning the change, taking responsibility, not taking money and things like that. I also want us to continue to recognize the fact that historically, these issues bedeviled those nations we are trying to compare ourselves to. When they were at our stage of development, they behaved even worse than we did in terms of the electoral processes and citizens' responsibility and stuff like that. So I think we should take a lot of heart from the fact that we are at a stage of development and not compare ourselves too much to where they are now, 200 years after developing their democratic processes. Now, the question I want to ask you is, so I want to thank you for that really, that we must keep things in perspective and not be disappointed or disheartened at the stage that we are at. We know where we want to go, but one question I want to ask you is, how much of our own indigenous cultural elements should we interject into this? I love the idea of this movement and volunteering to go here and there. It must be well structured, well organized. Fareed Zakaria once said in his program that for change to happen, it must come from a structured group with clear command and control mechanisms. Otherwise, everybody's just doing their own thing, and nothing happens, as happened with EndSARS. So it's structured. We must take our time to structure and ensure that we have a proper organization that's going to make sure that the movement works effectively. Now, the question I want to ask is, how much of our own cultural elements should we interject into the activities of such a movement? And two, I love to work with government. Faulty as they may be, they have the national spread, they have the personnel, they have our money. And I know the national orientation is putting together an agenda for a charter for an agenda for the citizenry in terms of values and all the kind of stuff we're talking about. So what is your thinking about engaging with government and making sure an organization like the National Orientation Agency also partners with whatever strategy we come up with? Thank you so much for what you have said. Thank you, my brother, in everything, Pastor Itua, and thank you, Jumoke. I'm sure you are here, and all the team that puts this weekly, very, very impactful program together. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Prof, let me just take Pastor Funke. Let me just take Pastor Funke, and we can answer the three together. Pastor Funke, unmute yourself. Yeah.
All right then. Good evening, and thank you. I really appreciate what you have said. What I've observed is that what we call meritocracy has just been thrown out of the window in Nigeria, because now it has a lot to do with not the education, not the background, but who people think you are. And so, a lot of people, that's why we have that Japa syndrome, because a lot of people, like you said, are not appreciated for all they worked for. That's, within Nigeria, and even people who went out of their way to get degrees abroad. That's number one. Number two, the welfare system. If we're going to be pushing things, I just heard that we were volunteering, but I didn't really understand for what. But I want us as a group to push for the welfare system, which is looking after people from the cradle to the grave. But we have to be careful, because I heard you saying churches must come together. By the way, I've worked with the church, and I know the church is doing a lot. People like Pastor Itua, I know that they're overwhelmed. because they've stepped in so many ways that we don't even know. I know the Redeem does a lot as well, but that's not to say that they can't come together, and all that, that works. But really, looking like the lady before me said, this is a work for the government. That's why the Labour Party in England, that's what they grew up from, taking responsibility after the Second World War. Everyone was devastated and they took up the role. How do we present a bill together, put down what the government should do, suggest to them even how they can pick up the money from the coffers, the treasury, and make it very important. It is very important. People are dying on the streets. There are things that we see, in our surroundings, environment that shouldn't be. And so we have to, at this stage in Nigeria, develop a welfare system that works and that covers the citizenry. That's my take. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Prof, you can go ahead and maybe respond to the questions and comments as the case may be. And then after that, we'll take Professor Grinch, and then we'll bring the whole discussion home.
I just want to thank Pastor Funke, Pastor Yemisi, and the first person that spoke. Usually when I'm in a public speaking, I'm always afraid of overshooting my time and boring people. But I want to tell you, it was like they continued my lecture, the three of them, and they spoke my mind. So I want to say a very big thank you. Even though they thought they were asking questions, but they were speaking some of the things that were actually reserved in my mind that I was unable to pick or speak to because I was conscious of time. Thank you, the trio, for what you have done. My moderator, sir.
Yes.
We are asking for us to come together and to think together. It's not a movement against government or against anybody. It's a movement for us, for our people, for our youth. It's a movement that we want to say, yes, we are raising consciousness, continuous consciousness about what the Nigerian of our dream should be like. We're not going to bring out a movement that says, yes, during the period of George Washington and then that of Hebrew this, no, in Nigeria. We're looking at all the mistakes that we have made and now not to do it again. I want to raise a team of Nigerian youth and children that are going to have another orientation entirely from this enslavement that we find ourselves. And how do we achieve that? I love the first speaker. He said, there's a movement of young Nigerians. We don't want to reinvent wheels where we can actually continue with you. If we have organizations who are already thinking in terms of what we are thinking about, they'll be welcome. Bring them to the table. We need branches, we need arms of Nigerians that we can speak with. We need people who in their own way can help us build a Nigeria of our dreams. So the organization that you already have, and those other people that have not even spoken about the organization that they have, who have common goal. But I love my pastor. He is a man that scrutinizes. He's a man that would say, bring what you have, let us say it, and be sure that it is in tandem with our dreams and objectives. Otherwise, once we have that, and we're able to ascertain that such a group fits into the dream that we are, the vision and the mission that we are putting together, then we work and work it together. We move together. Before I go into answering my two pastor messages, I'll give just an illustration. During COVID-19, I sat in my house, and because I was a former commissioner, I saw a lot of miscreants coming to my house, practically begging for food. I gave, I got tired. And I was afraid that there's no end in sight of lockdown. And I was very afraid that even me, I will run out of food. So I was being careful. I have my reserve and I was giving out. Then one of my brother called me from UK, my blood brother, and said, Buki, what are you doing about? We were talking and I said, too many people are coming to the house. I don't know what to do. So what are you doing about it? How are you going to, won't you help people? That's in your nature. I said, oh, I want to. So then go ahead and do it. I said, but I've already started doing it. I said, no, you can do it better. Then I slept overnight and woke up in my head that, yes, I can do it. Then I called him. I said, Uncle Broske, can you send me some money? He said he will try so that I can buy food and feed some people more. Then he did. And then suddenly I just created a WhatsApp group. I began to put the money. Coyote from London, 50,000. I think he gave 100,000. I did when I went there straight and put 100,000 down, and I began to write. Please, you added to this group because people are at home in Ede. People are at home everywhere. There is no food. We need to give them food. My sister, my brothers, under a week, I raised 8 million naira. And I began to look for where food can be sourced because shops were not opening. I began to call people. I told my KBC in Edel, and that this is what I have. The next thing I called DIG Adedayo Adeoye. Then the next thing I began to call all sorts of people. Then they were sending me money. Some of them, we just put it there. We know we can trust you, and that's where I'm coming to. We know we can trust you. So some will say, in the event of this, naturally, I wouldn't have given anybody my money, but we know we can trust you. Then before I knew it, I went to buy 100 bags of beans, 100 bags of gari, 50 bags of rice, and I sought the KBC to allow me use the palace so that nobody will say the food has been in Buki's house and she's eating it. So I went to a public place and we begin to bag, and then we thought of a strategy. They said we should use community-based. So we began to look for chairmen of communities, and we told them, give us names of the downtrodden in your community, not those who can afford to feed themselves. And that we want to give them food. And community leaders, we come with all of the association members. We bought salt, we bought everything. I gave. Then second batch of money came, about 10 million. We bought and we gave. Then my town, and there is my city. My other town, Hilary, called me and said, oh, you are feeding Ede people. I fed 300 communities of people, communities. And we gave food to groups of like 100 in each community, because Ede is large. Then we went into Hilary. Before I knew it, Hilary had contributed first 5 million by themselves, citizens, just calling from here and there. The one in the US, the one around, please give us some small money, and we'll do the public account. When we go to buy, I'll do video call, and then we'll collect receipt, post it, tell them how much we have left, and then we bought. We even bought Spag. We were going into stores of big people and buying, and then we distributed Hilary. Then my mom's place called me and said, well done. It's only your father that you love. And I went to Eredesha. I also did the same thing. Before I knew it, Alade Koma and others, they've contributed money and they've given me a lot of money. And then I sent some to Esauki. My brothers and my sisters, using community-based association, IDAs, like the Development Association, and everybody, I just rallied around people and we got food. We survived. So tomorrow, when they're talking about COVID intervention, they talked about me there. And I tell you, we went to area boys at the junctions, we called them, rehabilitated them, gave them food, and told them that they should secure the town. The same people are afraid of. We're the ones that are empowered to say nobody must steal anything around. Nobody must go around to hurt people because they can't go out because of lockdown. Why did I have to tell you this? Assisting the government. I love what Sister Yemisi said. How do we work with government? We can't do this alone. It's not a movement against government. It's a movement for government, for good governance. National Orientation Agency is needed. Any other arm of government that can campaign with us and campaign for us are needed. It's a movement for good Nigeria, not for better Nigeria, for a Nigeria of our dream. It's not against any political party. It's not against Labour or PDP or APC or anybody or any name of party. We want governance at its best. We will tell governments that this is where you can get money. We will tell our CEOs this is the pool where you can put in money. We will make them who contributes the money to be the one that will release the fund. When I did for Ede community, I refused to use my account. I got an engineer of a trustworthy person. He's the one who pays when I buy things. He said I should do it by myself. I said, no, you are the paying officer, I'm the purchasing officer. I will go purchase with my people, then you will send you bills, you will transfer. So, SARS and MAS, answering that question, we will work with government agencies. We need to work with government agencies. We will not work against government. We will not work against opposition. We will work for Nigerians. We will work so very hard that we will carry pastors along. I know churches are doing enough. I know Living Faith sponsored a lot of people. I know by Redeem sponsored a lot of people. I know Trinity. I've been to the this Redeem with Iluyomade. I saw when they distributed food. But I am talking about all of us saying we want to see 100 first class students who have not gotten a job. And we want them to first or second class upper or this, or those who are good in this trade. Come, let's train you, empower you, or give you what to do, or give you a job, or money to get what you can give to us. I'm thinking in terms of how much of our indigenous power and strength shall we put into it? How much? Everything that we have. Because a man, first and foremost, is himself, only when he is himself. We are going to put our resilience. Nigerians are very resilient people. It's a virtue. We are going to put respect. Our people are respected people. We don't address people anyhow. We don't look at, I'm not going to look at Itua and say, hi. And say, how you do? No, it's my big brother. Culturally, we will know and bring in respect. We teach our children regard. We teach them thank you, we teach them appreciation, we teach them sorry. It's our attitude. Nigerians don't joke with mannerism. We're going to put all that we have in mannerism in there. We are trustworthy people. In those days, before everything went AY, we used to leave items out outside there, and then you go there. There's a place called Kobo in Oshogbo. You pick the items you want to leave the money. Nobody picks. We'll go back into our culture of honesty, culture of corrections. It's Africans and Nigerians who don't look at their parents in the face and say, go to hell. No. Do you know that on the average, when I read the Bible, I feel like the African culture, the Nigerian culture have been put in the Bible? Because most of the things, children, obey your parents in the Lord, honor thy father and thy mother. Nigerians don't use everything up, we save. I saw it in the Bible. It was written there that he will finish and eat up everything is turned to poverty. Oh, we are brilliant people, we are going to put brilliance into it. We are selfless people. We are community-based people. You see, besides the government helping them in the US and the UK, you can die alone. No, in our culture, we are community-based. You watch after your neighbors' children as they cross the road. Hey, don't go, a vehicle is coming. You even go ahead and capture a child and say, I'm going to report you to your parents. We have good cultures. We'll put all that we have, all our resources, intellectual property, attitude, selflessness, sensibility into what we want to do. And we are going to let government know that it is not a movement for government, it's a movement for Nigeria. It's not a movement against government, it's a movement for Nigeria. We are going to let intellectuals know that this is not a party issue. When I collected money for a day, I collected from everybody. I collected from Dupe Adeleke to everybody, those who are in party, those who are not there. I collected from engineers, I collected from generals, and they all gave. Many of them are in opposition and they are in different parties. But we all came on a platform and they all agree with me. I still have pictures and loads of food. She was bringing tears to my eyes, and when people were just dragging food and going and moving, I felt moved. I spoke and I thank God. I went down flat. And I said, Jesus, I knew how you now fed 5,000 people without men, without counting children. Oh, so this is how you multiply things. By yourself on your own, God. Indeed, resources belong unto you. You own everything. And I thought it was over when I did it. Then I began to see how I had to other towns. So for my sister, Sayemi, you mentioned poverty and food and people who are hungry. Yes, this can be part of it. We can feed people. We will use community base. We will raise funds for them. We will buy the food. In Erejesha, I told others, it was even knocked down. So I brought police and others. And I said, nobody should go out. So that because for COVID, we could not even interact. We took food to people in their houses. We did it at Nehemiah when I was governor of Nehemiah. I went for leadership training in Nehemiah in regime camp. With Tonya Cole and others being my coach. And as a student, I was made the governor of the class. My people did put money together. We had an August event that was not next to it's just glorious. Our dean could not believe what we did. And we built a church. We built a church in a very, very remote village, a Redeem church. Yes, we did. It was an idea that came from me, but 186 members of the group we call Royal Diadem came together. We did it. Oyeyinka was our deputy president. All of them, they assisted. The church is standing. I'm not a Redeemed by membership, but we built a Redeemed church. I got trained. So, and I know if I go, I can see today a member of those group called Nehemiah. We call ourselves Royal Diadem because never again will our land be called desolate. We are now Tag Belual. We are Royal Diadem, Hepzibah. And living today, my best of friends are now from those Nehemiah groups. Yes, they are still there. If I call on all of them today, the class of 2002, they will all come out. And we are all from everywhere. One of the professors who were in that group is from Taraba. Still a few days back, he tested me and I replied. Some of them are from Rivers. They are online now. I can see some of them. So Mars and SARS, I'm giving these instances to cover all questions. That yes, we will work with government. Yes, we can feed the poor. Yes, we can do much more than we know we can do. Because Christ in us, the hope of glory, the strength of God in us can do exploits. We will be surprised as to how much we can do. What we have done, what Pastor Ito have done in the past will look like a child's play. What Daddy Adeboye have done in the past will look like a child's play. What Baba Abioye and others, and Salma and all of them have done in the past, Baba Oyedepo, will look like a child play, because if we put everything together and we began to announce people that we are going to go and train, ask government to give us school for 3 months, we want to put brilliant Nigerians together. Brilliant Nigerians. If you hold a certificate in Nigeria that is so and so, in so and so, come, we are taking you to Kuru. We are asking generals to put money together for them. We get the military to train them. We get the customs to talk to them. We get everybody. We get engineers and artificial intelligence people to talk to them. Let them show what they can do, and let them mix for 3 months, and then let's see the group of Nigerians that we are going to raise. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We work with government, we work with individuals, we work with you. We will work as a group. We will work with the special backing of the Most High God. And a new Nigeria will emerge. A Nigeria of our dream, where no man will be oppressed. Where people can go and say, yes, I am a Nigerian. Oh, my green passport is valuable. In Nigeria, where people will be taking visas to come and be with us again. Yes, we can. Thank you this afternoon.
Thank you very much, ma'am. We appreciate that answer. We'll take the final question or comment from Professor Grange. And maybe we'll take Letitia Bendran also, and we'll just call it a day. So, Prof, unmute yourself. Prof, unmute yourself.
Again, right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I said that I almost pulled down my hand again because Professor Oyawoye, whilst I was waiting, had covered most of what I really wanted to say. However, there is something that I could contribute which you would not know about, and that is that my grandmother came from Ekiti, from Ijero, Ekiti. And when you were speaking, it was as though I was listening to my grandmother, you know? So that to me...
I'm your grandma.
My grandmother came from the house of Ogugbade or something like that. Anyway, and so what I'm trying to say is this, that it you know, most of what we are unable to pass on to children is because they were not brought up in the correct household, correct way. They were brought up in nuclear, some of them in nuclear family, not extended. Extended families did a lot of good for us in those days. I, for one, you know, could remember that most times my mother was too busy looking after her husband and her other children, and my grandmother was there, and I was listening to her. She was the one that was helping us all to realize that we are cared for, you know. The mothers, you know, they really didn't speak so much in those days. So now what do we want to do? The same thing goes for my paternal grandmother. My paternal grandmother came from Ijebu-Ode, and the way she showed her love is to say that, oh, when I see Nike, I will kill a goat for her. You know what I mean? So, you know, it was sort of like trying to help you feel wanted, feeling part of it all. This is what is lacking in our children today. Our children need to feel part of the family. And unfortunately for us, the mothers who are supposed to do this do not have the time, or they have not prioritized the time for the children. So we need to work with government to make sure that our mothers, our parents, the parents of these children are given the support to do their parenting properly. They need support. So that's just all I would like to say now. Everything else has been said by you. And really, I don't think that we should drag this thing too much. I just want to thank you. I feel highly privileged. I listened to you at the colloquium, and that's why I am here again to listen to you. Thank you very much.
I feel very honored, ma. I feel very, very honored, ma.
Thank you. Thank you. If the three people promise to just put in 30 seconds, please. We have pressed for time. So Letitia, Juliet, and Adesua, just the three of you. 30 seconds, put in your questions and we'll go quickly. We'll start with Letitia.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
So Professor Olubukola, yesterday, I missed your name. Today, I didn't. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for all your contributions. So I've got 30 seconds. What I want to say is in continuation from what I said yesterday, and that is about artificial intelligence and preparing our people for this new technological innovation that's coming. We have to be prepared. Everything is going to change. Because of artificial intelligence, everything is going to change. And it's going to help us to accelerate our progression as a nation. But we've got to do it right. I've been doing it myself. I can tell you I've trained over 2,000 people, and I'm willing to subsidize my rates, with your Rolodex and Pastor Itwa's Rolodex and a few other people. I'm willing to subsidize my rate so we can get as many people on board as possible. So with that, I'd like to volunteer my time. My name, I've already filled my name in the form there, so you feel free to reach me. I already know Pastor Itwa. Pastor Itwa, you know how to reach me. I'm available. I'm here for the next 3 months, and I'm going to go full force. I'm ready. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Juliet, thank you for keeping it to 30 seconds.
Thank you, Betty. Thank you.
Okay, good evening, ma'am. My question is, the educational sector in Nigeria has been fraught with numerous challenges. I don't know whether you have answered that. I just came in. I want to do something. Sorry, ma'am. Ranging from inadequate funding and infrastructure, low quality teaching, insufficient teacher training, non-implementation of policies, corruption, and the widening education gap between urban and rural areas. Some laboratories not well equipped, no ICT. Some of them doesn't even have ICT lab. Nothing to write home about if in case if they have any library at all. Then how can you help us draw the attention of the government to these lapses so that they can help public school to have a conducive and proper learning environment for effective learning to take place? Please, how can you help us to do that? Thank you.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead. We have the last person.
Okay. Are we allowed the last person?
Yeah, just a minute. The last person. Sorry, ma, we've taken a lot of time. Adesua, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Adesua Osime. I just wanted to make a comment. On the 25th of March, I gathered some children. Well, I just saw 2 children riding a bike in front of my place. They greeted me and I answered them. Now I said to them, "Are you on holiday?" They said yes. I said, "Okay, is it possible for us to have some neighborhood children around, maybe 5, 6, 10 max?"
Within an hour, these two children, age 12 and age 9, brother and sister, they brought me 3 sheets of paper with names of 10 children, with a program and games that we can do. The program had opening prayer, games, this, etiquette. You know, my whole idea was what I had thought about during the International Women's Day, when I was asked to make a speech. I said, retired women. It could be retired men too, but I think women would be better to do the job. Gather children in our neighborhood, weekends, holidays. Let us engage them. Let us teach them what the parents are not able to teach them, what the parents don't have time to teach them, and what the parents don't even know. Most parents don't know. You can't give what you don't know. So please, let's start in our neighborhood, you know. I started on the 25th, and I'm going to do a template. I'm going to have a proper format for it, you know. So please, let us try our best. Have some snacks for them. I made a meal. We don't have to make a meal. You can make Indomie, you can make biscuits, you can make pancakes for them. Just let them have some fun as well. It's not just teaching alone. Let them have fun and they look forward to it. Thank you very much. That's my contribution.
Thank you very much. Prof, yeah, you can provide response, and we aim to finish before 7. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. You would have thought that you've taken my time.
I'm sorry.
You would have thought that you've taken my time.
Okay.
But I have gained everything that I've ever thought. I prayed very hard that April bring the best for me. And this colloquium has been one of the best yet that God has given me. An opportunity to hear from various intelligent individuals who have contributed immensely. The Yoruba says, if you've not traveled far, you will think that you've seen it all. He said, because you've not traveled far, that's why you have not seen an hunchback squirrel. If you move around, you will know that things do exist. Indeed, this platform is full of individuals that are very brainy, resourceful, and I am sure Pastor Itua is noting. And this is why I just talked about gathering people in the neighborhood, children in the neighborhood, play games. While they are playing games, we teach them things that the parents couldn't teach them because they got busy. Yesterday, I went to my sister's house. Children welcomed me by bringing in my things, and then they put us in the room, and then they went doing their own thing. I went to the dining table, they were picking aya. They wanted to make kunu aya. I tried speaking with them, they were on their own. I kept quiet. Fortunately, we had our meals before coming in. We went into the rooms.
You're frozen.
Hello, can you hear me?
Okay, we can hear you now. Go ahead.
You didn't even offer your uncle's water. Neither did you offer me anything. I said, so your mother is my sister. What if a stranger came in and your mother said, go and stay with my children? What would you have done? And I told them I'm extremely disappointed. I said, if your mother wasn't my sister, or is not my sister, and I know how she had taught you mannerism, I would have blamed her today. They were stricken and they were eating their yam and egg. So they stuck, they stayed. I went back to the room. This morning, early this morning, I was set to start coming because I'm in a school where you see me walking around where I have a meeting in Oshun, Kunaik, very beautiful school, and another place that we can use as a resource. This morning, these two girls, I was packing my things. I saw them putting pap on the table. And then the next thing I saw akara. They were telling their uncles, my two brothers that came with me, Uncle, food is ready. Mommy, Prof, sorry, your food is ready. I didn't want to have breakfast. I had to take breakfast because of their efforts. Mama Adesua, all their children need this prompting. That's all the story I've just told you. When I was going, I gave them 5,000, I said, for behaving well. This is the same me that scolded them hard yesterday night. My brother gave an additional 2,000 for good akara. My other brother gave them 1,000. He said, for card, call us. I'm sure they won't forget this, my visit, because I did Nollywood for them. I did as if I was so hungry. I said, how can my daughters, my nieces, be unable to take care of themselves? Because I am you, I'm your mother. So that noble idea is wonderful. I'm sure by the time I get home today, if I tell their mother, she wants to faith that they misbehaved yesterday night, and I'll tell her the good news, how I made them make breakfast, and they did a very wonderful job this morning. The mommy that spoke earlier on said, Mommy Greg, Mommy Nike, said we missed communal life. We missed family life because we've made our children to grow alone. They need interactions, further interactions with all the children from neighborhood. We need to teach them neighborliness, good neighborliness. We need to teach them even community policing. When they see something, say something. When you see a stranger in the community, tell your mom, let another mom tell another mom, that all of us know that we don't know this person. Can we find out who the person is before they come kidnap a child from that environment? So Mama Nike, you spoke again my mind, Prof. Ma. And my sister always talking about artificial intelligence. That's where the world is going now. You can imagine her joining the group of people that would come in to train our children, our imaginary children, the best brains in Nigeria, put in Kuru, or we take them to Badagry Beach, and then let them stay 3 months there in Ascon House. Come up with the best. So we must all care for these children together. These days of me, myself, my one child, and my husband has done more harm than good. You ask people, they don't even know who is their next door neighbor. It's done more harm than good. And that, my sister, I think Sister Yetunde had asked, how much of our culture should we put in community service, togetherness, this extension, this doing things together that we are used to in Africa. We are our brother's keeper. It will help us. This evening, you don't know how much you have taught me. I learned so much. I learned so much from the humility of my pastor Hitua, from all the pastors that I met yesterday. I learned something. How I used to think about General Wachuku, and now me sitting down by his side. I know that very soon young children are coming to sit up with us and rule us. I learned that Nigeria can be greater than we are. We will do better. We will do well. And I learned, and we learned. I learned, and I learned from you. I learned from the questions. I learned from the reactions. And I know that I am a better person than I was when I started this colloquium with you. Thank you for teaching me the best. Thank you for making me a better person. And I look forward to working with all of you for a greater Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
God bless you all.
God bless you. Pastor Etua, thank you very much. I hand over to you for the wrapping up of this session.
Well, we thank God for another wonderful session. And I have to thank my sister, Professor Olubukola Oyawoye, for being so forthright, being so bold, being so courageous, and being so charming at the same time and kind in her compliments and her words. The Lord will strengthen you and bless you and look after you in Jesus' name. Thank God for joining us and everything.
Thank God, sir. Thank God, sir.
So we'll look forward to the paper, and we look forward to further interaction. And you can see how excited I see. Very inspiring session. Somebody was saying, children must be cared for within the family. Amen. Nigeria going forward. Well, thank you so much. God bless you, and God be with you. We'll catch up. We'll talk later. I wanted your phone number, but I will try and get it, Sha. I don't know if you have mine.
I thought I had one, the one I used in calling you that day, but I will still get. I'll get your people, Jeremiah, to give me a working number.
Okay, please.
Yes,
Please
and I
let him
also
give you my
need
number, and then.
Yes, sir. In addition, the MTN boss that came yesterday, we needed to do something with him too. If I have his number.
Okay, Undukwe. I will send it to you once I get it.
All right,
Undukwe.
sir. Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you so very much for an opportunity. God bless you. You will hear. Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
God bless you.